There are a couple of things I want to do with these newly created sprites in my group. So the first thing you can see is that I've created a variable called animal, and I'm assigning it to whatever comes from here. When you use create in a group to create a new sprite, this sprite is actually returned, so you can assign it to a variable, and then we can work with this variable as we so find it useful. A couple of things I want to do with this variable. I want to set the anchor point to the middle. I want to enable input so that I can click on them and and also have an event listener so that I can listen to when it's clicked and execute animate animal. And lastly, I want to keep track of the current animal, which is going to be the one that's going to go in the middle. So the first thing I mentioned, the anchor point, we know how to do that already. I'm going to set it to 0.5. And I'm also going to set some parameters for the animals. So I like to use a variable called custom params. You can call it however you want, but I know this doesn't mean anything in Phaser, therefore it's safe to use. You're not replacing anything. And in here, I just want to keep track of the text, element.text, so that I can use that later to show the text here later in the course when we get into text. I want to enable input. We've covered that in here, so I'm just going to use the same thing. Input enabled, true. I want to make that input actually pixel perfect, because the animals have weird shapes and I don't want them to get clicked if you click somewhere in the rectangle but not on the animal, so I want it to be pixel perfect. And if you click on an animal, I want to have this method called. So I'm going to type animal.events.onInputDown.add self.animate animal. And I'm going to pass it the context, this, which in this case is actually self, what I have to pass. All right, so by doing that, there's an error here. This is actually events, not event. I'm getting the method call when I click on the animals now. And what I said that I wanted to do was to have that animal in the middle. So all of the other animals, I want them just to be far away, outside of my site. So none of them are there. And the animal that's being shown is going to be kept in this.currentAnimal. That's how I'm going to call this object, which will refer to this.animals. And I'm going to use the next method. There's the next and the previous method on all groups you can use. So remember, this is a group, and it gives me this method so that I can retrieve the next one. And if I call it again, it's going to be the next one and the next one, and then eventually it's going to go back to the first one. You can also use previous besides next. So this is just going to give me the next one. And then what do I want to do with that animal? I just want to set its position to the middle. Position set. And it's going to be this.game.world center X. It's going to be centered in the screen. And center Y. Now, if I reload, I have the next animal. I can click on it. It says animate. Eventually, it's going to animate, and you're going to hear the sound. So yeah, that's it for this video. Basically, we've added some properties to the elements of our group, and we are using the group method next to just give us the next one. And then if we call this again, so let me just show you what happens if this gets called again. If this gets called again, you just get the next animal, right? So that's pretty simple. And yes, I'll see you in the next video.